Today I'm going to be doing a review of the 718 Cayman S, which is the 2.5 litre turbocharged engine, and it's a facelift of the previous 981 Cayman, which we have tested before and owned. So this is going to be an ownership review. Unfortunately, an ownership that is coming to an end due to a sale of this car. Stay posted for what is about to come next. Which is why, having owned with this car, it's my wife's car, for about 2 years, I wanted to do a review of how this car is compared to the previous generation car, which was 2.7 standard model with about 275 horsepower. This one is the S model with 350 horsepower. I think that this car, 350 horsepower, 2.5 engine, and the sound that it makes, the performance that it has, and the build quality of the 718 is just incredible and is definitely worth the upgrade. First of all, nice looking steering wheel. We've got the option with media controls here, and obviously the sport chrono pack that gives us this amazing little clock, which looks super cool. Then we've got an updated infotainment display with Apple CarPlay, and then we also have an updated dash 718 here, and we've got fully automatic memory seats, as well as the mirrors that automatically fold and unfold. Also, we've got the fully adjustable steering wheel, which goes up and down. Here you can choose the different modes. As you can hear, as soon as I put it into Sport Plus, Sport Individual, the exhaust note changes. The cool thing about the Sport Chrono Pack is the fact that actually it allows you to switch your modes within the dial here, instead of having a sport button here, which I think is a very good improvement, as well as it has a time response button here, which means it is the Ultra Nitro fastest mode that the car can possibly go to in 30 seconds, and that is Porsche's unique selling point. This car revs up to 8,000 RPM. The interior is beautifully done with these stitches and a full leather dash. Very nice cream interior with the same peculiar feature of having two cup holders hidden away like that. I personally think this is great and very useful. I personally always drink stuff when I'm in the car, whether that's coffee, tea or water, and I think this solution is brilliant because realistically there's no other place you can put this. And we also got a 7-speed PDK transmission, which is by far one of the best automatic transmissions in the market. Another cool feature is the Bose stereo system, which actually sounds very well.
I don't sound like that.
So the claimed figure of 0 to 100 of this car is 4.4 seconds. I don't have specialist gear like Draghi to actually measure that. And actually the car is very practical too. So there are two ways of actually opening the trunk and the frunk. There's this button here and this button here. Also, if you open up, there are these two buttons here. So here and here. That's it. Here, plenty of space for some brollies, and also for some duffel bags and some clothes there. There's also some storage units on the side. We've got a little red lever, and you can easily fit in, for example, 2 hand luggage of room over here. There's actually plenty of space, so it's quite useful, the fact that you can actually put stuff both in the front and at the back of the car. So this car is much more responsive. There is almost no turbo lag whatsoever, and you can really feel that this is a very light rear-wheel driving car. I think the exhaust note is great. And in my opinion, this exhaust actually sounds much better. Yes, you will say it's a 4-cylinder, not a 6-cylinder anymore. However, I truly believe that this one sounds much more like a sports car than the previous one was. And again, it's not the most fair comparison because I'm comparing an S version against the base Cayman that we had, the white one. And if you want to see an in-depth video about that one, click, as all the YouTubers do, click on a banner up there in order to see that video. The best thing about the Cayman is that no matter how fast you go into the corner, it will go exactly where you need it to go. And that is why people buy these cars, because of the 50-50% distribution ratio. This car actually performs probably as good as any real racing track modified vehicle. Another new cool thing feature versus the other car is that we actually have the turbo bar chart here of how the turbos are spinning, and then we will be able to actually see these details, which is quite cool. All in all, I think this is a great vehicle because A, the build quality, anything that you touch in here, nothing squeaks, nothing quacks. Porsche just makes unbelievable build quality cars. It is an unbelievable sports car. The performance and weight distribution of this car is just insane, and it really shoots like a rocket when you need it to be. It's quite practical. You can put 2 pieces of hand luggage in the front, you can put some duffel bags and some gloves at the back as well. This car holds value very well. We've done about 3,000 miles since we bought it, and the market value hasn't changed of this car in the past 2 years, because first of all, there isn't a new version of this car. This is the last that the Porsche have actually produced. If you go to a Porsche dealership now, you will not find a newer model than this one. And also there's been some sort of speculation that there might only be an electric Cayman coming soon. I have no idea how they're going to do it with the fact that there's actually an engine here. Are they going to put massive batteries there? Is this going to be a hazard if they set on fire? We don't know. Porsche haven't confirmed anything yet. They've recently announced a statement that they're actually going to be reducing the amount of electric vehicles that they have on the road, so we're just going to have to wait and see. In the 2-year ownership of this car, we haven't had any problem at all. Basic servicing at our dear SO Performance down in Winchester. The parking centres sometimes are a little bit dodgy. This is what I'm talking about. So if we come even a little bit more close, it keeps on nagging you about for no reason. I'm not parking. I only really want this active notifications if I'm in reverse, not when I'm in drive. But that's the most annoying thing about the car, which means how good the car is.
Six and a half hours later.
However, what you can do is you can just turn it off quickly from over the top, and the parking sensors are not going to bother you at all. I do have a question. What is, if anyone put it in the comments, what is this button? What does it actually do? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. We did this one great trip to Ireland and as well the rest of UK, so Wales and England. Didn't quite manage to get to Scotland, but we were quite pressured on time. If you want to see a video of how we went with this car on a ferry with our dog to Ireland, the link is going to be up here somewhere. The only thing I could say is slightly discomforting, especially on the UK roads, is the fact that this car has 20-inch alloys, and this means that there's very thin tyre, which means that actually during the motorway, especially on some of the rough parts of the M25, you really need to pump the music quite heavily, because otherwise there is absolutely nothing that you can hear apart from road noise. But this is a problem with every small sports car as well. Another annoying part about this car is what they call a feature, is this key setting, which means the car recognizes a standard setting of what the key has been set to. However, for example, me and my missus, we use the same key to actually enter the car. However, this means that the car only recognizes her setup, which means every time I drive the car, every time I turn it off and on again, I have to press 2 in order for it to remember my own settings. And this applies not just to the steering wheel and the seat, but this also applies to the air conditioning, the spoiler, and all the settings in the car, which means every single time that I use the car, I have to change that, even if my wife didn't drive it in between the times, which is slightly annoying. I've asked Porsche and they call it a feature. Almost forgot, another cool feature about this car is the headlights as well. So the headlights have been massively improved comparing to the previous generation. The previous generation did not shine for shit.
I'm blind!
And now there's even an automatic feature, which to be honest is nothing new. I've had that on my 2012 E-Class, but this automatic feature automatically turns off the beam when there's an oncoming car, which I think is a great feature. You put the automatic mode on and you forget about, you know, flashing other people. And if you do flash the other people, your karma is safe because it's the car, not you. And we're not driving a BMW, so the likelihood of us being hated is very low. Yeah, see you in the next video. Thank you very much.